8 a.m. and I have to go to my mom's house up in Wasaga Beach because she had a stroke the other night. And, well, she's had several over the past few days, and I need to check up on her, so let's go for a drive. This is Stainer. Squeaky needs a drink of water, so I gotta get out of here. But I am now in Stainer, Ontario. It is just south of Wasaga Beach, up near Collingwood. And I lived here for a long time. Actually, I lived in Wasaga Beach and Collingwood and Stainer. This whole, what's called the Georgian Triangle. And obviously it's where you have, a lot of first experiences. One of those first experiences was a job. So going back to this, all my jobs, I worked at a gas station and I worked all these other little places when I was younger. But I think my first real job was delivering restaurant equipment for my friend's dad. He sold restaurant supplies. So my job was to, take this restaurant equipment that people sold and put them in a van or in a truck and drive it to the location of where it would have to go. And one of those places, what's now known as the Penetang Penitentiary. And it is like a maximum security, I think it's maximum. Maybe it's just, it's a prison, a real prison. And you pull up there and there's like the double gate doors and stuff. So you pull in, talk to a guard, you go in, you're locked into this cage with your vehicle. And they send the cops around, well, not the cops, I guess the security guards around with the mirrors and looking at the van and asking you questions and looking at your paperwork and stuff. Then you go in there, they point you to the loading docks. It's just like a big business, but obviously, inmates have to eat too. So I pull up to the loading docks and I back into it. And I have all this kitchen equipment to unload, like knives and spoons and forks and all that other kind of stuff. And they send prisoners in there to help you. So you're in the back of this enclosed van, full of knives, and you got these prisoners who are helping you unload it. And you just get to boss them around. And I felt so uncomfortable doing that because, it's like early 20s. And these guys are all over the map for ages. But most of these guys are in their 30s and 40s. So you're telling them what to pick up and where to take it. And it was just an odd feeling, that is for sure. But I'm curious to know what your first job was, or first real job. The kind of job where people rely on you to be there on a regular basis. Not the kind of thing you go there and if you don't show up, well, they have 1,000 other people that can do your job. But one of those real jobs that, that you have to be there for. Put that down in the comments. I'm always curious about that kind of stuff. All right, time to go to Wasaga. There's an airport just around the corner, so there's always planes flying around here. Small planes. Beach here in the winter than it is in the summer. Hey puppy, how did you get all dirty? The mud back there, that mess or something?
It's on the side of the roads everywhere.
Oh yeah. Trying to avoid that.
Have a nice walk.
Yeah, see ya. So mom is good, can't complain. I guess the stroke didn't affect her too much. Now we are down here, this is Wasaga Beach in the winter. Right now it's the start of March, and in the summer, this is obviously the world's longest freshwater beach. In the winter, this is like a snowmobiler's dream. So you'll see snowmobiles come all the way down here, up and down the beach, and way over there is a ski hill. So back there is Blue Mountain. It's they say it's a ski hill, and it's more a hill than anything. It's a nice little resort, but it's kind of small. And what we have here is, as it gets cold at the start of the winter and the waves come by and they start freezing, they form these large hills. And once you go on top of them, so like at this point we're standing on water right now, or what would be water. But as you get up here, you'll see that becomes Georgian Bay. And now this is completely frozen, so it's 100% safe. You don't have to worry about walking on it. And as you get a little bit out there, that is actually quite shallow, because in the summer that water might only be 2 or 3 feet deep at the most. So now that it's all turned to ice, obviously it's just big chunks of frozen ice. But you can go ice fishing out there. You'd have to go pretty far out though to catch anything, unless you're at a place like Cook's Bay or Lake Simcoe or something. But Georgian Bay, it doesn't really freeze too often. But you do have to admit, it's a beautiful place. I love it here. I mean, this is will be my retirement area. Come on, Squeaky. And when I retire here, you heard it here first, I'm gonna run for mayor. Or at least city councilor. City councilor of Wasaga Beach. How does that sound? We'll make it back how it was in the 80s. All right, I gotta do some of this dog. Okay, and that was that. Thanks for coming with me. Wasaga Beach is all done. Now I'm heading back home to Brampton. Well, actually, I gotta take the dog for a quick walk again because, you know, it's a weekend and I walk my dog a lot. But you know, as an adult, I find that it gives me a reason to at least get some exercise. I'm not the kind of guy that goes to a gym every day. I'm just a guy that, you know, I get a very minimal amount of exercise. I work at a desk job and I don't ski or snowboard anymore. I used to, but I don't now. I don't ride a bike as much as I used to because I live in a city. So you got to get out and do what you can. And as I'm pushing 50, like the big 50, man, I start thinking that I'm going to start getting a hell of a lot fatter soon, unless I get cancer. If I get cancer, then that's my plan for a diet. Thought today was over, but it's not. Busy place back there? That's why she comes here. Nice Squeaky. Hey. So we went to the dog park and it got a little bit muddy. So that's why we're here now. Okay, now we're done for the day, and now we're going to go home. Okay, thanks for watching. You know what to do. I gotta go. Right, Squeaky? This day is done. Done.